What's up, people? This week on Top 3, I'm going to be telling you my top 3 favorite video game franchises. Alright, as I said, this week is top 3 video game franchises. Now, this was a kind of a difficult one. Two stood out right away to me, but the third one was really hard for me to pick. So let's just get into it, and let's begin with number 1. If you know anything about me, and I've probably mentioned it several times in other places, but Resident Evil is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. I bought a PlayStation just to play Resident Evil. That was the first game I got when I got the original PlayStation. I wanted to play that game. So, I mean, that started it from back then. I love the games. I know there's controversy in the series, but if you want to hear my thoughts on that, you can go check out my Nerdman podcast. Episode 1, I believe, was where I talked about Resident Evil. But just in general, love that series. Just have a blast with it all the time. Not so much looking forward to the next one, number 7. But again, if you want to hear my reasons for that, check out my Nerdman podcast. Number 2. My next favorite video game franchise is Final Fantasy. I haven't been as into Final Fantasy in recent years as I have been in the past. Final Fantasy 13 sort of wore me out with the sort of trilogy thing, and I only really got through the first 2 games and part of the third one. But Final Fantasy 15 coming out later this year is got me excited for the franchise again, and that was actually Final Fantasy 6 was the first game that got me into RPGs in general. So back on the Super Nintendo when it was called Final Fantasy 3. So the Final Fantasy franchise, just love it. Love the stories, the epic scale of the games. Great franchise. Looking forward to the future with Final Fantasy 15 coming out. 3. All right, this third pick was incredibly difficult for me because I had a really hard time trying to decide there's a lot of video game franchises I enjoy and have enjoyed in the past, but maybe haven't carried on, or I've fizzled out, much sort of like Final Fantasy I began to fizzle out on, but I'm sort of rekindled back into it. So that being said, I had to think about it a little bit, but Tomb Raider is my third favorite video game franchise. The reason being is I've played them since the beginning, since Tomb Raider 1. I've played most of them. I haven't played all of them, but I've played most of them, and with the recent reboot in 2013 and everything, it just rekindled that series to me. And one of the other games I was debating about putting in was Uncharted, but as I thought about it, I enjoyed Tomb Raider more than Uncharted. Even though I love Uncharted, I think there's a history there, which is why I decided to put Tomb Raider above Uncharted. And there are other franchises I could have done, but I just like the Tomb Raider series. Searching around. I mean, the rebooted game in 2013 just really rekindled my interest for it. But I played most of the games throughout all the years, as I said. So definitely Tomb Raider would be my last franchise. Some honorable mentions obviously are like Mario franchise, and I really liked Infamous. That was close up there, but they just didn't quite get there for me. So those are my 3 top favorite video game franchises, and why don't you let me know yours in the comments below. As always, subscribe to my channel and get all my latest videos when they come out, and I will see you next time. So keep YouTubing it up. What's up, YouTube? This week on Top 3, I'm going to tell you my top 3 favorite video stuff. Number 1 sort of sounded like number 1. I don't know what I'm doing.